You have talked about giving kudos a thumbs up to the regime, but then there are questions as to why, in your opinion, because I believe that when you talked about corruption being ingrained in our DNA, you were talking about the buy-in of Nigerians. I don't know if you've conducted any research, but from what you can tell us, why do you think that a number of Nigerians might not be keen in or buying into the anti-corruption war?
Let me tell you straight away that, you see, and that is why at every turn, the idea that Nigeria's constitution will be amended, we, as our organization, SERAP, have always forwarded recommendations to the various committees that says they will want to amend the constitution. You see, you cannot have a political system that does not say that socio-economic rights of Nigerians are so important and fundamental, and say you want everything to be okay. It's not possible. And that is why we said, let us take, for instance, ourselves away from this notion of the dichotomy between civil and political rights on the one hand and the socio-economic rights on the other hand. A lot of countries, along with Nigerians in the last 20, 25 years, were in the same position. They say there should be a dichotomy between civil and political rights on the one hand and socio-economic rights on the other. A lot of those countries have changed because times have changed. They now see that it is so important that you take care of the economic and social life of the citizens so that effective political rights could be enjoyed. I don't understand why we say we need freedom of speech when we have not settled the issue of hunger, health matters, social infrastructural development matters. So what we insist is that economy is so important for politics. And the reason why I think Nigerians are not in the same position with the government is that the economic life of Nigerians has deteriorated. And unless something is done in that regard, we may still be having problems with the fight against corruption. You cannot be saying we want to fight corruption and Nigerians are going hungry.
What do you think about that expected list? Because the government said that it will publish the names of people who have looted from this country. And a lot of people have been expecting that. That's on the one hand.
Yes.
And then you have the situation whereby the government has made some recoveries
yes.
of monies that have been looted, yes. and it wants to make public yes. that its findings. But up till this time, people are waiting. What do you think is going on?
You see, remember that our organization went to court. The case was filed in 2011. Judgment was delivered 2016. And that was what the court said. Let us have the list of those that have looted, if any, and the amount of money that has been recovered, and any money that has been spent out of it. Now, when the government decided to set up this audit committee on the recovery and management of stolen assets, we believe sincerely that that is an attempt to partially comply with the judgment of Justice Idris, which was delivered in 2016. But what we expect this government to do is that now that, and that is the point we make when we say this government is not acting fast and expeditiously enough. Because you cannot say you are up for transparency and accountability and you will decide to obey certain judgment and not to obey certain judgment. You will want to comply with part of the judgment and you don't want to comply with all the types of the judgment. We believe that the issue now is complying with the judgment of justice fully and effectively. And it is taking almost forever to do that. But we believe that the inauguration of the committee on the management of recovered stolen assets is a step in that direction. But we believe that it is also important that this government works seriously with the National Assembly to pass the Proceeds of Crime Bill, which has been with the legislators for more than 2.5 years now.
Most thank you so much indeed, Adetokunbo Mumuni, Executive Director of SERAP, for sharing your thoughts with us on the war against corruption and how far Nigeria has been able to
Thank you
go
for
on
having
that.
me. It's a pleasure being here.
Sunrise Daily will be back in just a moment. Join us again.